So this year, I went to go see a bunch of shows, a bunch of concerts. I went to a few festivals, and I saw loads of live music, and I thought it'd be fun to make a video where I sort of rank it all from worst to best. And again, not trying to say any of these shows were particularly terrible or awful or bad, or I had a horrible time. I actually had a really good time at all of these shows, and I came away with a memorable experience in some way. I thought it'd make for an entertaining video just to rank it. It's all in good fun. So some of these are like headline tour shows. Some of these are festival shows. Was my dog moving? No, it isn't. I just thought it was worth mentioning. Some of these shows in this ranking were like opening acts. I feel like that's worth mentioning because the quality of the show can that can impact it. If you go to see an artist specifically at like their show, they're gonna have a longer set list. They might have like a whole presentation. If you're seeing them at a festival, it might be a different thing. So you might see an artist on here that's like a little low on the list and be like, yo, no way they're that low. Like surely their live show is fucking amazing. But it's like, oh, I saw them at the festival, so there are other things to consider. Yeah, I just thought I'd let you guys know that before we get into the list. But yeah, I've got 49, bro. I've got 40 fucking 9. I could have added more, but I didn't want to add every single opening act, every single festival act I saw. Because some of them only saw a few songs. Because if you're at a festival, you got to catch a bunch of different artists. Sometimes, they clash and you got to like move from one to another. So Perfume Genius, for example, who was at End of the Road Festival, I only saw Perfume Genius like 3 or 4 songs. It was like not many songs, and they were putting on an incredible show. Like Mike Hadrius was going fucking crazy. I was loving it. I had to ditch to go see Jockstrap. It was a difficult decision to make because I do love Perfume Genius, but yeah, I'm sure Perfume Genius would probably land a good spot if I had stuck around. But yeah, it is what it is. At number 49, I have Roddy Ricch from Wireless Festival in London. He was a little bit late. When I say a little bit late, it was like 25 minutes late. So it was a pretty short set, sadly. And it was a pretty cool show. It was okay. I enjoyed the show. It wasn't, it wasn't too mind-blowing. I felt like when it came to Roddy's performance, like it felt a little bit like, I don't know, a little tame. Some of his tracks are pretty amped up, pretty energetic. I don't think he really came through with a crazy amount of energy. At least not as much energy as the songs were kind of, asking for. So that was one thing. And also the live band, I feel like it would be better if it was just playing the backing track. I don't know, I feel like for his brand of hip hop, a live band doesn't really work for me personally. So I feel like there were things happening that could have been better. So that's why I've got him at the bottom. But the show itself wasn't bad. Again, I guess him being late was one thing. And the Wireless crowd, man, I can't even lie. They were fucking terrible. The etiquette was not anywhere to be seen at Wireless, man. I'm going to say that for every single Wireless act on this list. At 48, I have Jockstrap at End of the Road Festival. Now look, I saw Jockstrap with a few friends, and they will tell you the exact same thing I'm about to tell you. The sound was great. It sounded fire. We got to hear some of the new album before it came out. 50/50 went crazy. Robert was fucking bonkers. Like, it was great to hear those tracks live. But couldn't see shit. It was like a new venue, a new stage at End of the Road that was not there in the previous years. It was weird as fuck, like the way it was slanted, like you literally couldn't see. I had to like jump max height just to see like George's hair. Like I couldn't see the band at all. I could just hear it. All I could see was the people in front of me, and that was the case for everyone around me where I was in the crowd. You couldn't see anything. They need to work on that stage because it was really, really bad. It definitely did make the experience worse. And it's a shame because they seemed like they were doing a great job. But again, the sound was fantastic. George's singing was amazing. But yeah, I just couldn't fucking see the show. 47, Niloufer Yanya at End of the Road Festival again. So yeah, Niloufer Yanya's show was really nice. I did like it quite a lot. I actually got to meet her before the show. The sound was a problem. She kept there was a few moments where she was like signaling the sound guys to do things because it just wasn't coming out right, and that did kind of mess with a couple of the tracks, unfortunately, which is a shame because everyone was playing really well and the songs are great. I do love her music. It was a more casual show, so it didn't leave me with such a striking impression, I guess, and maybe that was due to the sound or whatever, but hey, overall, still happy I saw the show. I still enjoyed it quite a lot, and it was lovely to meet her. She was really, really friendly. Number 46, Biba Doobie at Reading Festival. Got to her show a little bit late. I think she was a couple songs deep into the set, but I did stick around for the whole thing, and I thought it was a really good show. I thought the sound was fantastic at this show. I got put onto a few really good new Biba Doobie songs I didn't know about before. She had a real shy, quaint sort of stage presence. Yeah, I thought it was really friendly, like a very friendly kind of vibe to the show. And I didn't realize how passionate Biba Doobie fans are. Like, she would just breathe, and everyone would go fucking insane. She'd be like, hey guys, everyone's like, ooh. Big turnout for the stage she was at. She was not on the main stage. She was in a tent, and there were people way outside the tent watching the show. I didn't realize her crowd was that crazy, like her audience. But yeah, still a really good show. I enjoyed it quite a lot. Number 45 is Madlib. I caught Madlib's DJ set at Coco in London, in Mornington Crescent, and I went there a few times this year. You'll see me bring up that place a few times. I actually didn't go to this show to see Madlib. I went to go see somebody else. But the Madlib show was cool. The acoustics, though, didn't really mesh well with Madlib's production style. Like, clearly it was a club that was designed with, like, heavy, like, dance bangers in mind, and Madlib's, like, kind of rough, like, hip-hop beats didn't sound amazing to me in this venue. But it was really cool to hear him play like some unreleased shit. Like he played Palm Olive from the Bandana album, but with like an extra Killer Mike verse. He played like some of the Mac Miller like album that happened, the Mac Lib album that never saw the light of day. He played a bunch of MF Doom tracks as well. Not the most amazing show I saw this year by any means, but it was still a nice set. Number 44. Nukaluk from End of the Road. So when I went to go to End of the Road, I camped there for the weekend and I stayed with a few friends. And there was a lot of people I actually met for the first time there, like friends of friends, and like we kind of formed one big clique, one big group. Quite often throughout the weekend, we would kind of split up. Like there'll be an artist that maybe a select group of people wanted to go see, but maybe there was another artist also playing at the same time that another group of people wanted to go see. When Nukaluk were playing, there was nobody that I really cared to see. Like I was like, oh, I need to go see Nukaluk. I need to go see whoever else is clashing with Nukaluk. There was nobody in the moment that I was like passionate about definitely seeing. So I was just kind of like, let me just pick a group to go with. And I remember I went with Harry, Carl, and Louis. Shout out to you guys. And they were saying we're gonna go see Nukaluk because they're like an experimental UK hip hop group. And they compared them to somebody that I liked. I forgot who it was. It might have been like Injury Reserve or something. And I was like, okay, that sounds like my kind of shit. Based off of everything that's happening right now, that's the one that sounds the most like my kind of shit. So I went to go see them, and bro, they were fucking crazy. They were amped up. They had a real like feral like stage presence to them. Like there was the singer who was just so fucking crazy, super unhinged. The chemistry between the members was really cool. The tent venue probably didn't really suit their sound as perfectly as another stage may have done, but still it was a really just like untamed crazy show, and I did enjoy listening to their music on the way home from the festival. I did play their EP and they're really cool. Number 43, Baby Keem from Wireless Festival. Now this show was really fun. I think Baby Keem's music is just very equipped for the live show by default. But unfortunately, yeah, the Wireless crowd, like I said earlier, they fucking sucked. And getting into the Baby Keem crowd was a nightmare. The bouncer guy, the security guy, was having to hold back a fucking herd of people. How he did that without dying, I don't know. And when we did eventually get through, I did get in a bit late. I think I missed his opening track, which I believe was Trademark USA. But still, really good set list. Like the Family Ties went fucking mad. Hooligan went crazy. Range Brothers was incredible. His music, again, so much fun to hear live. There were a couple tracks like South Africa and Boo Man, which I don't think they really went off like you think they would. Like Boo Man especially. You can't jump in time to that song because the tempo's too slow. Like there were a couple tracks I would have, in the set list, I would have like swapped out. But still, great show. Number 42, Omar Apollo. This was at All Points East Festival. I went to this festival with my mum and my brother, and actually we were there to go see other people. We were not like planning on seeing Omar Apollo prior to the show, but we just looked up the lineup in advance, and I saw Omar Apollo. I was like, oh no way, Omar Apollo's here. I know Omar Apollo. I don't listen to his music, but I recognize his name from the Kenny Beats Cave, and like I know he's around, and he's like a respected like new up and coming young artist. My brother was like, wait, what? Omar Apollo's here? He's my fucking guy. He was like super hyped about it. He was like, yo, I love Omar Apollo. We have to see Omar Apollo. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's go see Omar Apollo. We actually got to see him right at the very front. We were like right at the front of the barrier, which was very cool. Only 2 of the shows I went to this year was I like at the fucking front. And he had like a bad leg. Omar Apollo, he had like an injured leg, but he was still dancing, giving it his all. And the crowd, the hooks they really popped off. It was a great show. I love the visuals as well. I did listen to Omar Apollo on the way back. And yeah, I would call myself a fan. He's really cool. I definitely a great show. Number 41, Krungbin from End of the Road. Now, Krungbin are cool. I'm not like the biggest Krungbin fan. I think they're kind of, they're very chill, very relaxed, but I think their songs all kind of bleed together. They're a little bit samey. They're kind of like instrumental hip-hop, jazz kind of shit. And it's cool. It's kind of like lo-fi hip-hop beats to study to, but with a bit more production value. So I wasn't like super like gassed to see Krungbin. I'm not like a huge fan, but I was like, that could be a nice show. It could be a chill, like nice set. The first 20-30 minutes were very pleasant. Not a whole lot was going on. They were just kind of playing beats and the drummer was doing his thing. And it was just, the colors were really cool. I did enjoy the stage setup. One of the guys I saw knuckle up with, Carl, bro, he was fucking loving it. Like, he was a big Krungbin fan and he was feeling it like crazy. Like, he was like, I like, the more he was enjoying it, the more I was enjoying it. I was like, yo, he fucks with this this band. Like, he was like head bopping like crazy, like enjoying all the grooves. Even the songs that I wasn't really feeling as much, he was loving it. And I think that was contagious. I started to get into it more. But then they start busting out these crazy hip hop covers. Like, they covered It Was a Good Day, they covered Warren G, Regulate, they covered Rap Snitch, Kisses, I know it's not called that, you know, the MF Doom track. They covered freaking Simon Says, like a whole bunch of like classic hip hop tracks there, and they made like a little medley out of it. They would just like hard stop transition into one after another. It was fucking awesome. From that point onwards, the show was crazy good. And if it was all like that, hey, this would have been way higher up on my list because I loved that. But you know, the rest of it that was not that was nice, just a bit tame, I guess. Overall, I did really enjoy the show. Number 40 is 100 Gex at Reading Festival. So yeah, I went to go to Reading Festival with this friend of mine named Elliot, who I worked with at Sainsbury's. Really good dude. He actually hooked me up with the ticket to go to Reading Festival, so shout out to Elliot for that one. But yeah, he's a very quiet dude. He enjoys bands like the 1975, Harry Styles, you know, like the Vamps, Pale Waves, shit like that, you know, pop stuff. He likes a bit of Olivia Rodrigo as well. You know, he enjoys like pop music, right? With like a bit of a guitar-driven rock kind of flair. So I'm like, hey, there's this artist here called 100 Gex. You're probably gonna hate this shit, but I kind of want to see it. I feel like they're putting on a really good show. I feel like their show would be a lot of fun. Him being the soldier he is, he tags along. I don't think he was into it. Like, I think he actually ranked them at the bottom or near the bottom when we were talking about our favorite shows from Reading Festival. At the very end, we were like, what was our favorite, least favorite? I think he put 100 Gex on the bottom. I thought their show was really fun. I thought the visuals were insanely weird and just fucking quirky. The random tangents that Laura Les would go on in between tracks was really fun too. She was talking about Sunset Boulevard or something. I can't even fully remember, but it was funny. It was very amusing. They had these crazy outfits on. It was just a fun show, and their songs were Hand Crushed by a Mallet Live was fire. There was a guy who came up to me who was late to the show and was like, yo, have they played Money Machine yet? And I was like, nah, bro, you're good, you're good. And then Money Machine came on and he was fucking going insane. It was a lot of fun. A great, really good crowd energy. Number 39, Circuit des Yeux. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So this was at End of the Road Festival. I saw Circuit des Yeux with my guy, my homie Joshua Quinn. And he was going to go see these guys by himself. I was like, yo, everyone was going somewhere else. Joshy was like, hey bro, I want to go see Circuit des Yeux. And I was like, I don't know who that is. I'm not passionate about what everyone else is doing. So I was like, man, fuck it. Let me come join Joshy on some Circuit des Yeux. So we just saw them together. And bro, we left that show looking at each other like, bro. That was crazy. Really hypnotic show. The vocals were amazing. It was not a very like amped up hype show. It was more of like an experience. You just kind of soaked it in. Very slow music that just kind of seeped its way into your soul, you know. It was really like striking and ominous. I loved it. I thought it was fucking awesome. And at the time I was like, yeah, that's my favorite thing I've seen at this festival so far. So Joshua, thank you for making the decision to go see these guys, because I would not have seen them otherwise, and I'm very glad I saw them. Number 38, Duran Jones and the Incantations. I saw these guys with my mum. I forget the venue. We had a pretty awkward experience, like me and my mum, we got like cornered in at this little area at the front. We were like watching them from the side, but the performance was amazing. The drummer of this band is so fucking talented. Like, he was singing as well while drumming, and he kept making these bad fucking jokes. He said like, Marvin Gaye's What's Going On album in Britain is called Right, What's All This Then? Or some shit like that. And I found it kind of charming. Number 37, Run the Jewels at Reading Festival. This was another show I dragged Elliot with me to come and see. He's not a hip-hop fan, so this was definitely not his scene. Hip-hop shows, they do get a bit rowdy. So I was like, alright, cool, you hang back, I'll regroup with you later, but I would like to go in and go crazy because I personally love a good mosh. So I went into the front, and man, let me just tell you, Run the Jewels have the friendliest, most wholesome mosh pits in the game. Every other song, they were saying shit like, hey, pick people up if you see them and if they fall. Hey, if you did not come with her, leave her alone, don't touch her. Like, just don't be a fucking dick. Like, just be respectful of the people around you. They were preaching that shit every other song, and I think it made for a really wholesome atmosphere. Like, bro, literally, there was this one guy, he just like lightly tapped my shoe, and he was like, oh my god, are you okay? And I was like, bro. I was like, I'm fine, don't worry, it's all good, man. Like, he was worried that he really hurt me. But yeah, the outfits were crazy. There was this one dude wearing like a fucking Cupid outfit with these giant pink slippers and this crazy hat. I was like, what the fuck is going on? As crazy and I'm truly untamed and insane as the mosh pit was, it was such a wholesome mosh pit. I was like, yo, I fucking love the atmosphere of this. That really elevated the show to me. Killer Mike and LP, their on-stage banter and camaraderie is so entertaining. They're just so fucking amusing to watch. Number 36 is Keg at End of the Road. I had never heard of this band before. The first band they made me think of was Squid, very similar to Squid. If you like Squid, I do recommend this band. I listened to their EP that they had released on the day I had seen them, which is quite funny. I listened to it on the way home from the festival. Really solid EP, and the lead singer's expressions were just so fucking crazy. Like, they were all so fucking mad. Like, the lead singer's vocals really did remind me of Squid, the lead guy in Squid. Yeah, just an absolutely riotous show. I really enjoyed it. Number 35, Sudan Archives, and this was from 2 festivals. I saw Sudan Archives twice, once at End of the Road, once at All Points East. They were both amazing. They were both more or less, it was the same set list, a similar experience. If I had to put one over the other, I'd probably put All Points East, just because the crowd was a little bit more into it. Because that crowd, they were more like, they were jumping, they were really getting into it. So that's the only difference. As far as the show itself, it was more or less the exact same show. And her fucking performance was amazing. The violin playing sounded incredible with the knocking 808s. She was so amped up and energetic, like she was really fucking cool. And this was before her new album came out, and she played the track Oh My God Brit, which so fucking fire. Like, I remember when the album did come out, I was like, I'll check out the rest of the album another time. I'm trying to hear that fucking song. It was really good to hear that live twice, you know, before the album release. Next up, Cassandra Jenkins at 34. This was from End of the Road Festival. Probably the most heartwarming show. She was so funny. She is hilarious. She had such a lovable charm to her in between the tracks. She was just so funny. And her music is obviously very slow and beautiful and really inspired by like landscapes and nature. So the crowd interaction was mostly just like swaying and just like soaking in the sounds. The playing, it sounded amazing. The hard drive performance was incredible. I actually think it brought a few of us to tears. Joshua Fortune, Joshua Quinn, I think, were in front of me. Hard Drive was the closing track, I think. The show ended. They turn around. They're both tearing up. I'm like, bro, we all felt that one. Like, the performance was so beautiful, man. Like, it was a really gorgeous show. And I got to meet her after the show as well. I got to have a CD signing. I got to buy the CD. And she was a delight. It was really nice to have a chat with her as well. She was such a kind person to talk to. Wonderful show, man. Shout out to Cassandra Jenkins. I really did enjoy that. Number 33, Denzel Curry at Reading Festival. Elliot did not fuck with the mosh pit. I did warn him, like, yo, Denzel Curry, the mosh is probably going to go fucking crazy. He left, but I went insane. Denzel Curry, his performance was fantastic. He brought up people on stage to perform Ricky and Ultimate with him. The guy who did Ultimate, fucking bar for bar, did the second verse with him. It was electrifying. Yeah, overall, fantastic set. The visuals were amazing too. You had the walk-in music video in the background, which just looked beautiful on the humongous freaking Reading Festival main stage setup that they had. It's so huge. At 32, it's Sam Gellatry. This was the show I saw in XOYO in March, and it was his first ever live show that wasn't like a DJ set. This was his first time ever performing the new stuff where he's like singing, which was really cool to see the very first time he's ever performed it. And he definitely was a little bit nervous. Cool to see that side of Sam, you know, he was more like casual, just like bantering with the crowd and just kind of chatting and stuff, and it was really cute.
It's been all your shit, man.
But once he settled into it, he was playing some really great tunes. He played New Wave. Assumptions with the band he had sounded really cool. He played a lot of unreleased stuff, some of which still isn't even released, and this was way before the mixtape he put out, Viewfinder Volume 2. And I was thinking a lot of that material would pop up on Viewfinder, but all of the unreleased shit he played is still unreleased. It was really, really good. So I was really hyped up. The friends I was with were all huge Sam Gellatry fans. Shout out to Joe, Elliot, and Lamar, who I went with, some of my favorite people in the universe. And we all adore Sam Gellatry, so we were getting hyped up, even though the vibe was much more casual. I do kind of wish the set was a little bit longer, and XOYO, the sound, the staff there, not the best. I'll get into that later. But overall, it was a great show and I had a wonderful time. And I very nearly met Sam Gellatry. I was extremely close. Told us all to go away right when I was about to say hello. Anyway, number 31 is Willow from Reading Festival. She was such a sweetheart, bro. I fucked with Willow, man. She was so cool. In between every song, she had like just a really nice little comment. Kept the uplifting feel of the show high, which is quite cool because it was contrasting with her music, which is very punky and angsty. And that sounded fucking amazing. Like, she opened with Transparent Soul, closed with Maybe It's My Fault. Incredible fucking sound, man. Like, the band were going crazy. She was really shredding her throat with some of the performances too. She really gave it 100%. Number 30, Yard Act. This was an opening act at the Hammersmith Apollo. Man, Yard Act, I like their album. I think they were a cool band. I love the sense of humor and the playfulness of the lead singer. I thought he was really, really enjoyable to watch on stage. But bro, this opening performance showed me that the selling point of Yard Act is really the live show, that they were really, really fun to watch live. As much as I like their music, man, their fucking live show was a blast. I would gladly see them at one of their own shows. They were at End of the Road as well, but I think I had to leave before I could see them on the final day, so that's a shame. I would have loved to have seen them again, but yeah, they were fucking awesome. And it was quite a long performance as well for an opening. Number 29 is Little Sims at Wireless Festival. Definitely one of the best sounding shows I saw the whole year. The live band works perfectly for her music, given its very orchestral presentation, so all of the introvert stuff fucking sounded immaculate. Little Sims is definitely one of the most lovable people in hip-hop. I like the way she would look out in the crowd. She would just see certain pockets and just kind of like bounce off of them. Yeah, I wish the set was just a little bit longer, that's all. It was just very short. Because I remember watching back her Glastonbury show and she had like a whole fucking setup with the lights and she was telling like a story about like a tiger in the jungle alongside Fear No Man, and it was like, wow, this is fucking crazy. She didn't have that level of presentation at Wireless, but it was still an amazing show all the same. 27 is James Ivy, another opener. This is the only other opener on the entire list. He had a cold, and it was the final performance of the tour, and he was really giving it his all for the final show, and his hooks popped off so wonderfully, and even the people in the crowd that I could tell didn't know James Ivy or they weren't familiar with his songs. I was already familiar. I was singing along. I love James Ivy. Even the people that weren't really familiar with him were loving it. They were jumping. They were feeling it. James Ivy was so confident. You're such a young guy. I think he's like 21. I loved his show. I thought it was great. And at number 26, I have FKJ at All Points East. I didn't even get to see this whole show. Yeah, FKJ was clashing a bit with another artist, so I had to deck to go see them in time. And I wasn't even sure if I was going to see FKJ at all because FKJ clashed directly with Caribou. As much as I would love to see Caribou, I will take one for the team. I will see FKJ. I was cool with that. I like FKJ, so I was fine with that. First track he performed blew my face off. Man, the opening track was insane. He had this like looped sample that he was just improvising off of, and it just built this incredible arrangement. I loved the look of it all, like the way it was kind of stylized to look like his bedroom. It had like an oriental sort of feel to it. There was like plants on the stage. The feel of it was just so comfortable. Right away I felt really invited, and it was a really, really wonderful show. I wish I could have seen the whole thing. And number 25, I have Denzel Curry again at his Rough Trade signing. This was easily the smallest show I saw all year, only like 200 if that people, because it's a record store. He performed like 5 or 6 tracks, and then for like half an hour he was just doing an open Q&A with the crowd. Literally, he was just chatting with the crowd, just making jokes, just being his goofy self, and just having conversations with random people in the crowd. The guy who performed Ricky with Denzel at the Reading Festival show was there as well. And he asked if he could perform Ricky with him again. And Denzel was like, no. That was really funny. Then I got to meet Denzel. And me and Lamar, we went up to go meet Denzel Curry. We were both a bit starstruck. Lamar was like, he was barely talking on the way back. He was just like processing, like, bro, I just met Denzel Curry. And Denzel was lovely. He looked a bit knackered. And I asked him, like, how you doing, man? He was like, bro, thank you for asking that. His fatigue, his like mental stamina was like waning, so I was just like, how you doing, man? And he seemed to really appreciate that, which was cool. And then he complimented my hoodie, and he was like, yo, is that Yoshimitsu? And I was like, yeah, it's Yoshimitsu. And he was talking about Soul Calibur and Tekken and stuff. It was fucking sick. He is such a legend. It was really nice to meet him. Overall, just a wonderful experience.
Everybody's face individually. Can I be able to see the lights on everybody in the crowd? Nah, they just gonna leave the lights off for a real nigga like me on stage, homie. That's crazy.
Number 24, Jessie Lanza. I saw her at Village Underground with my boy Joshua Fortune, aka Russelo Collective, the man behind Speak and Spell Records. My fucking bro. It was lovely to catch up with him and see a show with him, and Jessie Lanza did an amazing job. The bass in that fucking venue was, you know when you hear like bass at a show and it sort of like plugs up your whole body and it's like, whoa. Like it really felt like that, which worked so well with her music. Oh my god, man. Jessie was so wholesome. Like behind the decks, she was just bouncing around. She was having so much fun. It was like so impossible to ignore how contagious her performance was. She was just so bubbly and energetic. And Caribou was there too. Caribou was right behind us. Like on the way out, Josh like looked at me and was like, bro, look who's over there. It was fucking Caribou. I was gonna say hello, but he was talking to someone. So I just let it rock. But it was just cool to see Caribou there. And I because, you know, Jessie Lanza, Caribou, that's how I discovered Jessie Lanza, was through Caribou. Full circle moment right there. Number 23, Arm & Hammer at XOYO. Fucking awesome experience. In fact, if I was purely going off of outside things that influence the experience, this would be like number one. But I want to be fair, and you know, the show should count for the bulk of why I'm placing these picks where I'm placing them. But yeah, the surrounding experience regarding this show was amazing. Story time. If you'll indulge me, story time. I got to meet Emily, aka Dower Candy on Twitter. I've been mutuals with her for like years. So that was really cool. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go meet Emily. That sounds sick. And she was a legend. She was so friendly. Literally the second she saw me, she was like, and just gave me a hug and like screamed. It was fucking sick. And she was with a friend named Ama, who was also amazing. Unfortunately, the XOYO staff, who I did say I'll mention this later on in the video, they were fucking trash. The sound was horrible for Arm & Hammer. At first, the feedback was way out of control. They cut them off. They cut off Arm & Hammer halfway through the final track, Stone Fruit. It was a beautiful performance. And they just cut him off, and Elucid did not appreciate it, as he shouldn't, because that's fucking rude. And yeah, everyone was like booing the staff because they just rudely cut off the show halfway through the last song. Even like why? Bullshit. Did not appreciate that. But the show itself was amazing. Billy Woods and Elucid, they did not spare a single bar. Breath control, all of that was unbelievable. They got to play a bit of solo material from both of them as well. They played SpongeBob by Billy Woods. Overall, great show. Anyway, this guy, Evan, pulls up, who was amazing. And I'm going to tell you a lot about this guy. Evan pulls up and he comes to Emily and is like, sort of similarly to me, is like, yo, nice to meet you. I think they're meeting for the first time. A few people came up to Emily, actually, and said, are you Dower Candy on Twitter? Nice to meet you. She was like a fucking celebrity. Even Billy Woods recognized her. We met Billy Woods, which was a mission, by the way. There was this other guy named B, who, again, will come up later in this video. There's a lot of lore going on right now, but just bear with me. B is like, bro, I just met fucking Billy Woods. I just met them. I just got a picture with them. Oh my god. And we were like, oh my god, seriously? Where are they? He's like, they're over here. We go over there. They're nowhere to be seen. So we're waiting for them to appear. They're not appearing. So we go somewhere else. B, the same guy, pulls up and he's like, bro, I just met them again. I just met them. I just saw them again and had a chat with them again and got a signature and like, I just saw them again. I'm like, what the fuck? Where are they now? And he's like, over here. We go over there. They're not there. So we just go back to the venue and we see Billy Woods there. Billy Woods is a legend. He was just chatting with him. I asked him about like how he's enjoying the UK. He's talking about we all drink at 11 a.m. And then he recognizes Emily from Twitter and he's like, wait, I know you. They get a picture. It's awesome. Really, everyone's smiling. It was really cool. We had to leave to go to the next, tour venue. So then we all go get food. And I realize I have missed my last train home and I'm getting all scared. I'm like, fuck, I forgot. It's Sunday. I need to leave like right away. If I'm at a show on Sunday, I need to leave right away. Why was I sticking around? I guess I was just enjoying the moment. I was with all these fucking people. So I was like, who am I to leave this situation right now? We're eating food though. I check my trains. I'm like, shit, I gotta go. Or actually, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I can't go because I've literally just missed my last train. And Emily's like, wait, you're saying you can't go home? What the fuck? What are you gonna do? Evan, the lifesaver known as Evan, comes through and says, yo, it's cool. Come stay at mine. I'm like, seriously, you sure? He's like, I don't even live that far. Just come back with me for real. We got a sleeping bag. Just sleep on the couch. I'm like, Evan, my boy, you're a hero. So I stay at Evan's for the night. I'm seeing Death's Dynamic Shroud posters. I'm seeing Boris, like, Flood little ornaments. I'm seeing games. I'm seeing freaking Ghibli plushies. I'm seeing Totoro and, like, Eevee plushies. Carly Rae Jepsen cardboard cutout right in front of me. Like, bro, I'm like, this is, like, heaven. What the fuck is this? I'm like in music nerd heaven right now. I wake up, they're all still asleep, and I gotta go. So I just sneak my way out quietly. I don't want to wake them up. I wanted to say thank you, you know, but I was like, I had to go. So I just texted Evan and said, bro, you're a hero. Thank you for everything. You really, really came through. Appreciate it. Thank you for letting me stay. Guess what this man replies to me with, bro? He says, yo, I didn't realize this, but you're vale-smith. I listen to your music. And I'm like, what? I'm like, there's no fucking way. And he pulls up a tweet from 2020 when Are You Sick of Being Unlucky came out, talking about, you guys need to check out this album. The production, I love it. It's one of my favorites of the year. From 2020. So he said that 2 years ago, just to show me that he was like being for real. He pulled up this like tweet and I'm like, no fucking way. What are the odds of that? Like, to be fair, he does strike me as like a Bandcamp diver like that, but still, like, what are the odds of that? Like, that's fucking mad. Like, that blew my mind. Like, straight up fucking blew my mind, bro. And then to top it all off, to end off this magical story, Emily and Evan are now a couple. I was there for the inception of that shit. Every time I see that, to see a picture of them, I'm like, that's so fucking sick. Like, that is the most wholesome shit. They're both amazing. Like, bro, what a fucking power couple right there, bro. Like, the real shit, that is goals right there. 22, Death Crash from End of the Road. Loudest fucking show here. Absolutely pummeling instruments. I was completely overwhelmed. Louis, you had a shirt that said, wear ear protection. Yet you did not wear ear protection at the Death Crash show. And you went all the way to the front. What's going on with that? Number 21 is Sam Gellatry again at Coco, Mornington Crescent, which is where I saw Madlib. Easily the latest show out of all of these. Like, he started his set at like fucking 3:30 a.m. We got home by like 6 or 7. It was fucking crazy. And also we ran into this guy, another little brief story time. There was this guy on the way home who was like, bro, I need to get to Hammersmith. I've lost all my friends. I'm a little bit drunk. Can you help me? And I was like, fuck, I don't want to just leave this guy. He was like, I got a tenner. Just order me a taxi. So I order him an Uber. He gives me his tenner. And but I have to go. I have to get on this bus to get to where I need to go. Like, it's right there. Like, we can't miss this bus. So I just like say, yeah, just go over there. The Uber will be waiting for you right there. I've placed the order. He's like, bro, thank you. And then Uber call me while I'm on the bus driving away from this guy. Uber say, you need to cancel it. I'm not going to be able to get there in time. You need to cancel the order right now. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, where are you? I need to find you. I'm like, it's not me. It's this other guy. He goes, I'm not going to be able to get there. Cancel it. So I cancel it and try and get a new one. And nothing goes through. You know how Uber, sometimes it just doesn't go through. It's like, we are waiting. It just wouldn't go through. And I just took this guy's only money. And he's waiting for an Uber, thinking it's on the way. And it's not going to come because the Uber... And I'm just like, is he alive? He gave me his number and I texted him like, yo, sorry about all that. Uber they fucked up on me. He never replied. Did he die? I was just trying to help, man. Number 20, Charlie XCX at Reading Festival. She played Vroom Vroom. Holy fuck, it sounded incredible live. A contender for the best live song experience I had at any of these shows. And Elliot, who was with me, I was like talking to him about Charlie during one of our shifts at Sainsbury's, and I was trying to like educate him on like, bro, you don't get it, man. Charlie's a fucking G. And when Vroom Vroom came on, I looked over at Elliot and I was like, bro, this is the one I was telling you about. And he was like, okay. And I went over to the crowd and just started going crazy. Bro, Sophie changed the fucking game. Changed all of music with a single snare drum. Fucking GOAT, rest in peace. Charlie's set was amazing. Apparently she got really sick after this show as well, which is a shame. Mostly it was crash tracks. Not a huge amount of the weird shit that I like about Charlie. I still think it was a good set list. I really enjoyed hearing the crash material live. Love Charlie, man. What a show. What a show. Number 19, Midwest. I went to The Social in London for free to see Midwest with my friend Lamar. Lamar, thank you for hooking me up. This show was very chaotic. A very small venue. All of the crowd were young people just ready to go fucking insane, and it was wonderful. Midwest, his performance was just so chaotic as far as his like energy levels, but he would ramble so much in between songs.
Bro, it's hot as fuck. Hot as shit. This small ass room, I fuck with it, bro. We all intimate and shit. Y'all feeling each other right now, bro. Back to back to back.
The ending of the show was supremely awkward. The file got corrupted for the song he was going to play, which was a song he asked the audience, what do you want me to play? So he asked another guy, and they just said, Trying Again, which is like his biggest song. And I think Midwest like took offense to that and was like, for real? Like, that's the biggest song again? And he just walked off the stage, and he didn't come back out. And I couldn't tell if he was going to come back out. We were just waiting there like, is that the end? Is that the end? I can't tell. It was a bit crazy. It was a bit of a chaotic show, and but still, Midwest Energy was on fucking 10. It was on 11 the whole time, and he was honestly really funny for quite a lot of it. His crowd banter was a good laugh, and it was a great experience overall, as haphazard as it was. Number 18, Denzel Curry, again for the third and final time. This was at his like main tour show in Electric Brixton. I got to see Evan again here briefly, which was quite nice. Their energy was amazing. Denzel's performance was absolutely incredible. He did this insane thing during Ultimate where he like cut the beat out and just did it all insanely fast, the whole second verse, and then he ended it with like this crazy fucking pose, and then like lights and smoke just flying everywhere. It was just like this huge, like, you know, just my whole body froze up when that fucking happened. I wish he played Naughty Head. I wish he played Birds. Those are the only two omissions I can think of from the set list. Other than that, it was a great set list. It was nice to hear him play This Life from Imperial. That was really cool. Hour and a half long performance too. I loved it.
Okay, that was cool. That was cool. But you know what? I want to test y'all singing voices. I hear a lot of y'all singing and shit. Seems like I got some good voices in the crowd, huh? Okay. I want to test something out real quick. Hey, Posh, you got me queued up.
I got you.
I want to know if this whole crowd, and I'm talking to y'all up there too, I ain't forget about y'all motherfuckers. I want to know if the crowd know this song right here.
17, Tyler the Creator at Wireless Festival. Unfortunately, the Wireless crowd disappoint me again here. The crowd crush was getting so insane, I could not enjoy the show. And I have waited to see Tyler for so long. He's so important to me. Like when I was like 13, 14, I looked up to Tyler so much. It's ridiculous. He was obviously banned from the UK, so I was so excited to take in the show, and I just couldn't because the crowd around me was just so distractingly fucking annoying. I had to get security to lift me out, which was a real shame, but once I did get there, I absolutely loved it. New Magic Wand live was life-changing. Holy shit. Who Dat Boy live? Oh my god, that like eerie build-up is insane. Live. This was during the summer when it would take a million years for the sun to go down, so I was watching the show at 9 p.m. and the sun was still up, which is a shame because the light is outdoors, so you can't really see the light in its full glory when it's, you know, bright outside. So that combined with the whole crowd thing did dampen the experience a bit for me, but I do recognize that the show itself was amazing.
Right here. I don't shop at the mall, all y'all just dumb motherfuckers. I'm a goddamn that you can give me some more, cause
can't wait to see him at one of his own main shows one day. Maybe next year I'll get the chance if he does a tour.
Sometimes you gotta close the door or open the window.
Number 16, Porter Robinson. Unbelievably mind-blowing visuals here. Easily the longest show as well. This was a massive fucking show. It was like 2+ hours, bro. And I will say, there were a few moments during the show where I was like, okay, more fucking amazing, beautiful, bright visuals. Like, for 2 hours at a certain point, it was like, okay, holy shit, this is a little much. It got a little fucking insane. But that's okay, because, man, like, the best moments of this show, like, the peak highlight, like, most amazing spots were like incredible, dude. Like, they were fucking amazing. The remixes and live edits that he had, the insane visuals that must have taken fucking dozens of hours to get prepared for this show. Porter's piano playing, his singing, and his incredibly kind and inviting stage presence. He had a few moments where he was just expressing his, you know, gratitude. He did the thing where he played, he let the crowd play Sad Machine, and they did it on the first fucking try. Yeah, there was some really good shit going on here, but yeah, it was really, really long. It was way longer than me or Lamar, who I went with, expected it to be, so we had to like run to get the train. We were like, we got a fucking deck here because this is late. Like, we did not expect the show to go on for this long. But yeah, I loved it. Overall, I loved it.
Who wants to try to play Sad Machine? I have faith in this person right here. I feel like you got this. All right, here's how it goes. You ready? This is the most important game assignment of your entire life. But I believe in you.
Number 15, the 1975 at Reading Festival. Matty Healy, bro, fuck. He is just as amusing to me as he is annoying. Like, he came off so fucking arrogant at first, but I can't lie, it just won me over. I just kind of embraced the character. He had a few really funny moments where he would just go off on a random tangent. It was so fucking, like, at a certain point, I just found it really entertaining. And the sound was amazing. Maybe the best sounding show of the whole year. Happiness, I already told you guys in that video, it's the best mixed track of the year. It was fucking perfection live. It sounded amazing. Overall, just a stunning show. Number 14, I have Kenny Beats at Coco, which is where I saw Sam Gellatree and Madlib as well. He brought out so many motherfuckers. He brought out Sam Gellatree, actually. He brought out Dexter, SL, H, Slow Tie, Millions, many others that I'm forgetting right now in this moment. Yeah, it was pretty exciting just to see who the next like UK dude he's gonna bring out is. AJ Tracy as well was there. But the highlight of the show was Kenny. The transitions. Oh my god. Orange Soda by Baby Keem transitioned into Break It Off by Pink Pantheress. My favorite transition of the lot was DMX into Rosalia. But the most surprising and hilarious one has to be the Shrek I'm a Believer track into Cashin, Playboy Carti. Yeah, Kenny Beats live is pretty amazing. Number 13 is Grove from End of the Road. Didn't know who Grove was at all. I remember there was a moment, like everyone had just gone off maybe to get drinks or to go see a show. So I was like, I guess I'll regroup with them later. Fuck it, whatever. I'm gonna go see Grove. Grove was on, so I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna go see Grove. Grove blew my fucking mind, man. Easily the most amped up show at the entirety of End of the Road. Really industrial sounds, really chaotic, like nothing like any of the other acts at End of the Road. Because again, the End of the Road lineup, it's mostly like, you know, indie bands or like singer-songwriters and shit. It's not this type of music. But the people were really into it. Like the crowd was super into the chaos and Grove was so fucking funny. There was a moment during the show where Grove was like, fuck it. I just really want to do this. Can the whole crowd just like split into two? One side here, one side there. And everybody partook in this. It was just like one giant middle gap. And I lost my fucking shoe. Like I lost my shoe in this pit. It was insane. I did reclaim the shoe shortly after. Number 12, Cochise. I saw Cochise with Lamar and Joe, two of my favorite people. Cochise wins the award for most hilarious stage banter. He was so fucking funny. The set list was perfect. The stage banter was just the cherry on top. Overall, it was an absolute fucking blast. This was my final show of the year too, the most recently attended one of the entire list, and I loved it.
And I'm not gonna hold you, this is my first time out here. I wanted to be in London since I was like, does your phone say eat my ass? Where's the security at? I want this nigga out. I want him gone. I always want to be out here, and this is by far the best crowd I've ever fucking had in my life. There's this song that I got, and I'm like a blue nigga from a video game, and I be like blasting shit. I'm gonna take off this trench coat, and while I'm taking off the trench coat, the song is gonna start. Y'all niggas better turn up. That's all I'm fucking telling you.
Number 12, Fleet Foxes at End of the Road. This was the one I was most anticipating to see. They clashed with Black Midi, so the group did have to split up. Some of them were like, yeah, we gotta see Black Midi. I'm sorry, I can't miss Black Midi. But yeah, to all the guys in the group that went to go see Black Midi, Fleet Foxes were amazing, dude. They were fucking amazing. Like Benny, who was with us, he saw Fleet Foxes with us, and he was like, I've seen Black Midi before, and they're really good. But they're not that. This is a more rare, a rare moment. So I was like, let me see Fleet Foxes. I was genuinely getting emotional as fuck watching these performances. And Robin Pecknold opened the show, kindest opening to any show. He started the show off like, thank you guys for choosing us over Black Midi. We wish we could see the Black Midi show too, man. We love Black Midi, but we want to thank you guys for choosing us, and we appreciate being. I was like, you guys rule. And then they opened with Wading in Waist High Water, which right away tears, man. Like, that song makes me cry like crazy, bro. I love that fucking song. We are in the top 10. Number 10 is Jack White at the Hammersmith Apollo. Jack White, dude, the visuals were fucking insane at this guy's show. The blue, white, black kind of color palette he rocks with looked fucking amazing. And he had this like mannequin on the stage with a microphone, which was a bit fucking crazy. The Fear of the Dawn stuff sounded amazing. He played over and over and over. Oh my god, that sounded fucking great. The way he would like cue off of the... Did I miss someone? Bro, I missed Battles. I missed number 28, I'm sorry. Battles were at 28. Battles from End of the Road. I missed Battles. My fault, guys. Number 9 is Lucky. David Rowe, my guy. Dan, my guy. Yeah, Lucky was a pretty life-changing experience. You know, David Rowe and Daniel Kingston are two heroes of mine. To see Lucky with them was incredible. But get this, B from the Arm & Hammer show was there as well. Lucky's music sounds amazing live, and as far as his performance, like, it wasn't that crazy. He rapped pretty well quite often live on the stage, but you know, he was mostly just kind of chilling there, just like giving the crowd the mic and just sort of like vibing along and just playing his music. It wasn't the most like outrageous performance really, but the experience was amazing. David Rowe would just go crazy in the mosh pit. Me and Dan would just like fucking jump and shit, and then we'd just get split up and swept up in all the chaos, and then I'd rejoin and suddenly David Rowe is shirtless now. Like, it was just so fucking, it was fucking amazing. We just walked out of that room a completely sweat-ridden mess, and it was amazing. I loved it. And also, that show happened on my birthday, so that was really cool. Number 8 is Ross from Friends at End of the Road, my favorite of all of the shows I saw at End of the Road. Dude, what a fucking amazing show. The transitions were delightful. Just constant headbanging this entire set. I just couldn't help it. Every single rhythm was so vivid. And I was there with a bunch of people too. And Joshua Fortune, he was super hyped for this. I remember he was talking like, yeah, I need to see Ross. I can't wait for Ross from Friends later. That's gonna be so sick. He was so gassed for it. And it did not disappoint at all. He was just fucking vibing out. I was like, yes, bro. What was the song? Love Divide. Oh my god, he was like, yo, I need to hear Love Divide. Kept teasing Love Divide. Like, you could hear Love Divide, the melody would creep in, but it wouldn't, the drop wouldn't come in. It was like, he would just tease the melody again and again. And then he ended it on Love Divide, and it was amazing. The payoff was so worth it. Fucking bonkers visuals as well. The lighting was incredible. It was just such a good set, man. I fucking loved it. Easily my favorite of the End of the Road shows. Number 7, Pierre Bourne at Electric Ballroom in London, which is also where I saw Paul Robinson and Lucky. And I got to see this show with my brother, and also Dan Kingston was there as well, which was amazing. I thought Pierre Bourne performed really well. He did not spare a single bar during 40 Clip. He played 40 Clip from PFI. Yeah, my fucking favorite off that album. He played it. He did not miss a single line. He played a good chunk of Life of PFI. I thought it was structured really nicely. He started the set off with some tracks from Good Movie, and then he just went behind the decks and just started DJing a little bit. He played some Kai, he played Magnolia, Punk Monk, Pissy Pamper, Stop Breathing, which I went insane to. Then he played EA by Young Nudie and 21, which was amazing. Just a really well-structured set list, honestly. I loved it. I thought it was a great show, and he really gave his all to the performances too. He played Poof, amazing show. And the openers were really good too. Fucking great night. I loved it. Really, really fun. Number 6, James Blake. I saw James Blake at the, what was it? What's it called, man? Alexandra Palace, yeah. I saw it with Benny, my boy Benny. Bruh, my hero. Thank you for hooking up with that experience. We had an amazing time. It was really good to see him. It was awesome. James Blake's visuals were fucking incredible. There was like this bar of fucking light that would just pulsate. James Blake was so kind and lovely whenever he would take a minute to just address the audience and talk. He didn't play Radio Silence, which was a bit of a shame. That's my favorite song by him. But it was still a great set list. He had some tracks from all of his projects. He had a good mix of like the R&B stuff, the dancey stuff, and even the old school stuff. He played CMYK, which was really nice. Just a really hypnotizing and beautiful show. I would see him again in a heartbeat. The way his like fuzzy chords just like fill the room, it was just incredible. Number 5, Sabbath. Where did I see Sabbath? It was at O2 Kentish Town. Sabbath. Maybe the most heartwarming show of the entire year. I just left this show feeling so inspired. I especially loved the way Saba would introduce his band members.
We got my brother Rex. This is Arkansas's finest. This is the young prodigy, the young motherfucking legend. Make some noise, London, for my boy Rex. London. I want y'all to make some noise for my brother Ryan, the person on the motherfucking drums tonight. That's my brother Chef Lee, who's on bass with us tonight. Make some noise for my brother Chef Lee. Every time I went to the Bay, I would be like, hey, can you play that one song? Can you play that one song? Can you play that one song? And eventually he was like, you want to just take this song? And I was like, hell yeah. And then I was like, this is the intro to Few Good Things. Make some noise for Chef Lee, y'all. Just press a button. Just do it. Hell yeah, you. Make some noise for brother Dan. Y'all probably can't see him because he over here really in the cut. This is my brother Poppy Beats. Now let me tell you something about Poppy Beats. Poppy Beats mix and master all of my music from Comfort Zone, from my first mixtape up until now.
I cried a little bit during his performance of 2012 because that song is just so good. And there was a really great moment where he was like, you know, right now everything feels pretty warm right now. It feels like a hug in the room right now.
It feels warm in this motherfucker. It's like, you just feel like it's a hug. It's like a hug on the stage happening right now. Now I want it to feel like the exact opposite in this motherfucker. Let's do it, y'all.
I knew it was coming.
Even in the winter time, yeah, I didn't find all these niggas dying. Ain't no breaking time for the.
And then Survivor's Guilt came on. I remember I'm getting chills just thinking about it. And I was rapping every damn word. And then Life came on. And then Stop That concluded the set. And Stop That went fucking insane. Oh my god, I did not realize that song could go that crazy.
From the front to the back, from the left to the right, I don't really care if you don't know the next song that I'm about to play. You're not gonna get in trouble. It's a fucking rap concert. I don't expect you to know everything. I don't care if your friend dragged you and you have no idea who the fuck I am or what the fuck we are and what we're doing. You're not in trouble for that. If your friend dragged you here, make some noise. We a friendly bunch. Y'all are welcome here. I don't care if you're introverted, I don't care if you're shy. Let's in the back doing the thing, cool. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. For the last song, I want to feel everybody in this motherfucker's energy. Can we do that? No, because I'm not gonna be satisfied with a half-ass crowd that's half of them are moving and half of them are some cool shy shit. London, this is my rule. Can we do that, London? I can see that down here standing. Y'all are good. Y'all are good. Up top, can we do that? Alright, last song. Let's get it, y'all.
Number 4, we have the very first show I attended this year, Aries. And that was at the exact same venue. Aries was amazing. He did a fucking cover of In the End by Linkin Park. He did a cover of Vanessa Carlton's 1,000 Miles. He played a really fucking banging unreleased track as well. Aries was really funny. Be honest, everyone. Is there any good food here? And then the entire crowd was like, no. It was really funny. He was just lovely. I would love to see him again, man. Race car live. Ah.
Head in the clouds, I couldn't see a thing. You told me your love was really real, I understand. Complex, I'm a process. Why you looking lost? Every breath out your mouth is a goddamn comment. Who's that bitch? Who's that bitch? I said, who's that bitch? Who's that bitch? Keep on, keep going. Who's that bitch? I don't know. Who's that bitch? I can't tell you.
Number 3, Tame Impala at not End of the Road. All Points East. Shout out to Harry and Dan who accompanied me during this show. Yeah, they win by a landslide for best visuals. Fucking incredible visuals, genuinely mind-melting. The laser beams, I'm still recovering from the laser beam. How that happened, I don't know. The confetti, a fucking massive, an absolute freaking avalanche, a storm of confetti just swarmed the crowd somehow. Ridiculous visuals and stage presentation. Tame Impala live is like, even if you don't like their music, they are a fucking essential band to see live. They are amazing. We're now at the top 2, the final 2, my 2 favorite shows of the year. At number 2, I have an artist that I had heard was really good live on many occasions before. People have said, like, this guy's live show is legendary. He's known for his live show. I love his music as well, but he's known for the live show. So I went in expecting to have a great time, but I left completely floored. And this was insanely difficult to put at number 2. I really thought this was gonna 100% be number 1. But the second I left the show, I did think that is the best show I think I've ever seen. And that artist is in fact Thundercat. I saw Thundercat at Electric Brixton with my boy Elliot. Thundercat's bass skills are ridiculous. Like, you always hear, oh, he's such a good bassist. His bass line's always so good. When he's like going off on a solo, it's fucking ridiculous. He is so fucking talented. Yeah, like, he is definitely gonna go down as one of the most amazing bass players in history, I think. He's really that good. The drummer was fucking ridiculous too, and the way they would bounce back and forth was just a delight. Thundercat was so funny as well. He was talking about anime. He was like, who here knows of a show called Cowboy Bebop? And obviously, me being a huge fan of that show, I was like, yeah. And then he said like, who here is a fan? I've been watching this show. It's called like, I can't remember what he said. He was like, who's watching that right now? And you just heard like a really faint like, and he was like 12 of us are watching that show. He had the funniest stage banter, bro. There was this amazing veil of like chains or something, like hiding the band members in this really creative way. Really cool use of silhouettes going on as well. And the drum fills, I loved the drum fills. You need to see Thundercat live if you have not already.
I don't even know what else to say, man. Like, I really fucking love London. I want to see you guys partying to this shit. 1, 2, 3, here we go.
And that brings us to number 1, the number 1 best show of all of the whole year. I saw all these live shows. I made so many great memories. I want to thank every single person I met and like exchanged information with, and all the friends I went with, and all the people that seeing these shows brought along, you know, with them. And I really, really like all these shows, all these experiences inspired me in ways I could never begin to describe. But there could only be one winner. The winner, my pick for best concert, best live show of 2022 is Amine. His tour is literally titled The Best Tour Ever Tour. It's true. It is the best one. He performed Wannabe by Spice Girls, bro. I don't know what you want me to say. There was just something about this performance that was so spontaneous and chaotic and just pure fun. It was just ridiculous. Like the way Amine came on stage, he just stormed out, no intro, no dramatic entrance or anything. He just ran onto the fucking stage, mad funny freestyle starts playing. I just couldn't believe it. It was overwhelming. Smoke flies everywhere. And there's like visuals on either side just saying jump, just flashing at me. There was just a certain like chaotic energy to this performance that I just think is unrivalable. I loved it so much. And he did this really cool thing where he was like, I like to do this thing at my shows where I make everybody in the room feel sexy. So when I say you're beautiful, you say, I know, you're beautiful. I know, you're beautiful. I know. He kept doing that throughout the show. And every time it made me feel fucking beautiful. Another pretty awesome thing happened here. Ima, who I met at Arm & Hammer. Ima walks up on stage with Amine. So Ima was at this show, and Amine spots Ima in the crowd, and I'm like, guys, I know who that is. Like I'm talking to Lamar, and I'm talking to them like, yo, you guys, I know who this is. That's Ima, that's my friend. I'm like, look, guys, I know who that is. And I literally texted Ima like, I fucking knew that was you, man.
Where's Ima? The Ima. Okay, beautiful. I need you to come up. So Ima right here signed the last tour pants that we did. The last time we was in London. I need you to make a shout out to her real quick. Make some noise. If I could, I'd pick all of you, okay? I'd pick all of you. Hi. Long time no see.
That's every show I saw this year, ranked from worst to best, all 49. And again, there are others I could have included that were like festival slots or opening slots. Yeah, I just thought I would carry out this list on my own terms, I guess, and there you go. Long video, but yeah, hope you had a great time listening to me ramble retrospectively about 2022. Yeah, I love you all, and thanks to everybody that accompanied me on these shows, man. It was really cool. Here's to more amazing concerts in 2023. Love y'all. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
I said I'm gonna pour shots for smoke, kicking douches in the mouth. Sadly for you, my last cigarette's gone. 1, 2, 3. Turn around and get that booty and snap. Hey, get the blood. Shawty got low.
1, 2, 3.